Well, here's the latest update in the decline of Western civilization, and it's bad news for all of you bigots out there who've been so callously using the word field. That's right. Turns out field is a bad word now. Here's the headline. USC will no longer use the word field over racist connotations. That's right. It's amazing how racist things that absolutely aren't racist are these days. Says the University of Southern California's School of Social Work will no longer use the word field in its curriculum, saying it may have racist connotations. So the School of Social Work. And if this is what the School of Social Work is worried about, perhaps there shouldn't be a School of Social Work. Maybe it's a complete waste of time for everybody and totally counterproductive for, well, civilization. Let's see, USC's Suzanne Dworak Peck School of Social Work said the change was critical to support anti-racist social work and inclusivity. That's how useless these people are, okay? They're saying that it's critical to support anti-racist social work to not use the word field. Now, if your school had so little value, you would think you wouldn't want to advertise it, right? But I guess in woke world, this all makes sense. Let's see. So they are going to remove the word field and replace it with practicum. Let's see. This change supports anti-racist social work practice by replacing language that would be considered anti-black or anti-immigrant in favor of inclusive language. How does it do that exactly? Well, I guess they're going to explain it to us. Quote, language can be powerful, and phrases such as going into the field or field work may have connotations for descendants of slavery and immigrant workers that are not benign. I guess if you're completely deranged, maybe. I just don't feel like these people are that bright. I mean, like, language can be powerful. Oh, really? Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, of course. But if you're going to say that, you need to follow it up with something a little bit more profound than field work. I mean, when has saying field work ever destroyed anybody's life or even caused them the slightest bit of discomfort, unless, of course, they're completely engulfed with woke madness, in which case they're not equipped to deal with anything in the world, period. Let's see, USC says they are joining other universities across the nation in making changes to their institution to, quote, honor and acknowledge inclusion and reject white supremacy, anti-immigrant and anti-blackness ideologies. Keep in mind, these universities, these are the most privileged places that have ever existed in all of humanity. These are the least racist, at least obviously the least white supremacy, anti-immigrant or anti-blackness places ever in the history of the world. The people there are privileged, all of them. And unfortunately, it seems like there's just an enormous amount of money being spent to turn these students at these universities into just outright cult members. Because the things that they say, the things that they claim to believe are just completely detached from reality. But I'll tell you what, it seems to me that there's a strategy behind this bizarre attack on language. Because we're seeing it all the time. Every day there's a new example. Here's an article from the CBC, paid for by Canadian taxpayers. Words and phrases you might want to think twice about using. This is from 2021. They've given us a list of words that the CBC does not approve of anymore, including tone deaf, blindsided, black sheep, tribe, lame, first world problem, grandfathered in. Who's actually offended by any of this? Nobody, really. But wokeness is a bottomless pit of outrage. It needs to be fed. It doesn't care what. Doesn't care if it makes any sense or not. If it stops being offended, it dies. So it keeps being offended. Here's from the Elimination of Harmful Language Initiative. I mean, that is just an Orwellian title if I've ever heard one. And this is at Stanford. They're not happy with the word addict. Addicted, I guess you're supposed to say hooked or devoted. I guess let's use it in a sentence. Hunter Biden is devoted to crack. A basket case you can't say, you have to say nervous. Let's see, and why is that? Because originally it referred to one who was lost all 4 limbs and therefore needed to be carried around in a basket. Yeah, that's what I always thought it meant, didn't you? Yeah, even people who don't have any limbs and that are being carried around in baskets think this is retarded. Oh, that brings us to retarded. Let's see. Instead of saying retarded, you're supposed to say boring or uncool. Well, that just seems even more offensive. How about a sanity check? You can't say that because, of course, that's offensive to those dealing with mental health issues. Well, who isn't these days? Spaz, you can say clumsy. Tone deaf, you can say unenlightened. Wheelchair bound, you need to say person who uses a wheelchair. Why is wheelchair bound offensive in the first place? Doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see, senile, you're supposed to say person suffering from senility. It seems like a distinction without a difference. Let's see, you can't say crazy, you can't say dumb, you can't say insane, you have to say surprising wild. None of this really makes any sense to me. Lame is boring or uncool. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Isn't that just an actual clinical name? You have to say detail oriented. None of this makes any sense to me. I mean, what is the point? It seems to me it's like to just try and make you paranoid, always questioning your words. Self-editing so as to not incur the wrath of the woke overlords. Just to be just constantly questioning yourself. Is it to prevent you from being able to express reality accurately? I think we're starting to get to the heart of it there, aren't we? This is about thought crimes. It's about institutionalizing the concept of the thought crime and then to police it. Why? To prevent people from being able to express reality accurately and clearly so that you can't criticize woke idiocies like canceling the word field. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.